technical difficulties are behind us, and it is time for restricted any percent of Lego The Hobbit with Zojalyx and Dr. Pie.
Hello, running for reals. I'm Zojalyx.
I am Dr. Pie.
And we are doing Lego The Hobbit restricted any percent. So, yeah, this is Lego The Hobbit. It's a Lego game based off of Peter Jackson's The Hobbit trilogy, but unfortunately it's not actually the trilogy, it's just the first two movies. So we're doing restricted any percent, and what that means is we're playing through the game as quickly as possible, but we have to limit our game to 60 FPS or frames per second. So the 60 FPS, there's a lot of FPS dependent physics in this game, and by limiting this FPS, it reduces a lot of those tricks, makes this run a lot more accessible for people who are running. Did I hear you say something, host?
No?
No? Okay, I'm hearing things. That's as simple as that. Cool. Alright, so yeah, so by reducing our FPS to 60, it makes it a lot more accessible because you don't have to have some like big supercomputer in order to speedrun this game. So you guys donated it to have us watch the cutscenes. The timer does not start until we enter the first level. So once the first cutscene ends, so we're just gonna go ahead, jump right into it, and let you guys enjoy this beautiful intro cutscene of Lego The Hobbit. While you guys are doing this, now is a great time to get some donations in for our Two Towers incentive of AON New Game Plus. That is the run right after this one. So get your donations in.
It began long ago, in a land far away to the east. There was the city of
if you
Dale.
guys aren't familiar with... Well, actually, don't try and follow the story with these cutscenes. Because even though,
this
yes,
city
our
lay before the doors of the
FPS is limited,
greatest
this
kingdom
run
in
is
Middle-earth.
very broken. And also, shoutouts to Dr. Pie. This is her first marathon run
Stronghold
ever.
of Thrall, king under the mountain.
And also, this is your
mightiest
first.
of the
This is
dwarf
your
lords.
only speed game.
Yeah,
His line lay secure in the lives of his son
for now.
and
For now.
grandson.
I like the sound of that. Yeah, this game is also super cheap.
All pay homage
It's
to
really
him.
it
Even
doesn't
the great elven
break,
king, Thranduil.
break your bank in order to buy this game and run it. So buy this game and run it.
It's super easy. I'm horrible at video games, but I managed to learn this one with like one run through. We did one run through and it was just under an hour, and then we did another run through and we were in like 47 minutes.
It's hard to hear me. Okay, I can fix that. Also, that's when the timer starts now.
You to go and oversee today's mine.
I'm just gonna make a quick lower the game volume. There we go. We're good. Alright, so for some reason, it takes forever for player 2 to drop in right away at the start, but we're here. So, yeah, one of the kind of annoying things in some aspects of this game, but also, like, it can be kind of nice, is the forced split screen that this game has. So if the two players get too far apart, then the game will go into a split screen. So then you don't have to like worry about one player pulling the other person, which makes doing separate tasks a lot easier, but also it can be kind of jarring.
Sometimes it gets super tricky, which we will see in a little bit.
Yeah, so we can throw things, so we're going to distract our own guards, even though we're both literally royalty, but you know, it's fine. Poor Bomber's gonna drop his chicken, or turkey, whatever you think it is.
Turkey.
Are you sure it's turkey?
Too big to be chicken! Also, if you notice us jumping off the ledge there, it's just a little gut draining. It wastes our time a little bit sometimes, and also at the end of every level during the recap, it can save some time if you have less studs because there's less to load. So in some games we strategically stud drain, or in some levels we strategically stud drain so that you don't have to wait in the load screen as long.
Yep. And I just did a skip there. It's called gem skip. What it requires is Dr. Pie put herself in a very specific position, and then with her being in that position, I was able to jump and then drop out, because one of the fun features with LEGO games is you can drop in and drop out whenever. And also you have to do the dance. That's how this works. And we're going to utilize the drop in and drop out by doing things like that, where I jumped past the trigger where the character would normally shut the door and you would have to do this puzzle in order to, you can come over here, in order to advance. But by me jumping and then dropping out, Thorn then goes past the trigger. And then when he goes past the trigger, I can just drop right back in. Okay, we're fine. I can just drop right back in and keep going. Alright, so what we're doing right now is this little speed building thing. I don't know why they set this up. It doesn't... I honestly don't really like this as a feature of LEGO games. But basically we complete this puzzle and it builds this big thing and we can get studs for it, depending on how fast and how accurate we're able to do it. But it doesn't really matter. This is going to be the only time you're going to be seeing this throughout this run.
Our next skip, which is coming up pretty soon, has a lot to do with player 2. Because player 2, for some reason, can move during cutscenes. So we get to jump up.
We don't skip cutscenes.
Oh, no.
We both started mashing to try and skip the cutscenes. And then we forgot that we are playing with cutscenes. It kind of threw both of us off.
Yeah, that's like right what's going on. Yeah, so as we'll see soon, some of the pillars are gonna fall down, and because I can move during the cutscene, I can get close enough that I can jump over the pillar before it's completely down, and before it creates that wall that I can pass. So hopefully, if it goes, we'll see.
So you're gonna have these entertaining LEGO cutscenes. Let's also, I want to see, like, this is gonna be the Lord of the Rings block, so let's get some donations. Let us know your favorite Middle-earth Lord of the Rings characters, or I don't know, whatever random thing. $5 donation train. Put it all towards the Two Towers incentive, because it's gonna be really cool to see. It's weird saying Two Towers, but having it not be an incentive for a run. But anyway, donate and let us know about your favorite Middle-earth stuff, or if you notice something ridiculous in these cutscenes, like there was a pig that flung onto a roof thing that was really funny. So here's barrier clip, and oh my, that one was terrifyingly close.
I did not think I was gonna do.
So if player 2 doesn't get there fast enough, then this invisible wall shows up that prevents us from being able to advance without actually doing that route intended. But thankfully, Dr. Pie is really good at this game and has jumped over the barrier, thus...
Oh, the other two barriers aren't even falling down yet. I never noticed that.
Maybe that's something that we really play with.
Normally, like, once you get, the way, if you think you're supposed to, you break down that barrier that I jumped over, and then 2 other barriers fall down and you have to get through. So, we can do it that way, but that's one of the reasons why we try to skip over it, because it takes a while to get through them. So if we can get over that barrier before the other 2 come down, then it makes it a lot faster to get to that one, or that part.
Yeah. Hey, if you're thinking, hey, you're 6 minutes into the run and this isn't that broken, just you wait. This is only the first one.
If I had failed barrier skip, barrier clip, barrier skip, whatever, barrier, then we would have gone to a backup, where we use this fun little buddy hover, which we're about to do right now.
No, this isn't a buddy
Not
hover.
buddy hover, buddy... whatever.
This is just money hops. A buddy hover is something different.
Um,
That's money hops. You're not supposed to do that at all.
yeah. Whatever.
But for some reason, if you are holding... So, the way that money hops work is if you're holding your control stick in a neutral position, and I hold down, at least for me it's the X button, but for most people it would be the A button. If they hold down the A button, and when they hit the gold, they will actually jump, and they will jump immediately when they hit the gold. And so if you time it right, what I would do is I would jump, move, let go, and just kind of do this really funky rhythm to help keep me hitting the gold and moving without having to worry about, without the gold kicking in where you like kind of sink into it like a quicksand and it works as like a deck. This is just a quick little auto scroller. There's nothing, yeah, there's really nothing to it. It's super short. So also, just watch for like a few seconds. Peter Jackson is going to come running out with a camera. He was there. There he is. So, in case you guys were curious, The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings are actually just really ancient documentaries. Peter Jackson traveled back in time to film them.
Or any day since.
Yes.
It was quite. It's the reason why it was quite the project.
And he never forgot.
You have to document it and then bring it back only, and like you can only bring such big like memory drives or whatever.
Yeah.
You can only bring back so much at a time, so he had to do it once. Quite taxing.
It really is, honestly. So we're now going into our first hub section. So Lego games have levels, and then they have a hub world that you can maneuver around. Depending on which game it is, will depend on obviously where your hovers are, or depending on
What is going on? I always get so lost when we do the cutscenes because I never know.
the camera is different when you have cutscenes. But so for the hub for this game is Middle Earth. So we will be traveling around Middle Earth, but we will not be seeing Middle Earth the way you would expect. If we go too far to the left here, where old Bilbo is doing jumping jacks, then we would go into the next level. But instead, we're going to buddy up and
Buddy hover over the river.
Yep.
So you can do these little tricks. It's an attack trick. So you just do your little buddy up by pressing B, and then if you mash X or your attack button, then you can do that like spinning motion where it would be an attack. But we just use it a lot to jump over things that you shouldn't be able to jump over, because as you can tell, there's no roads here. There's no little transparent blue studs that tell us where to go, because we are off the regular map. We're in the background. We are skipping most of the game.
Yeah, we're literally skipping an entire movie worth of content.
This is why the run is 45-ish, 40-ish minutes with cutscenes, and why you can get it under 30 minutes with no cutscenes, because you can skip most of the game.
Yeah, and the co-op world record is 2806 by Flaming Laser and somebody else, and I honestly cannot remember their name off the top of my head. The solo world record without cutscenes is 2354 by Da Hamster, and then the co-op with cutscenes world record is 3906 by us, which is pretty unoptimized, but that's because why would we play with
Whoa, we're getting trained.
I got distracted talking about world records, and I ended up see, there's this little corner here that we have to hover from, and I started hovering way too late, which is caused us to fall. And sometimes when we fall on the terrain like that, it can be quite devastating.
Sometimes, like, when we fall on the terrain, it will spawn one of us where we came from, and the other one to where we're going, which means we can't move on, because we need the other one to be able to do the next thing, and we have no way to get to the other one, which really sucks, because sometimes we have like a really good pace right here, and can't do anything because we got drained or whatever. So then we have to just reset because there's literally nothing we can do.
Yeah, so the positions on the way on the map are quite precise. So now, what we're gonna do here
Are
is
you gonna jump off?
I'm trying, but you keep jumping. Whoa, that was weird. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna position myself and oh, I missed it.
There
There we go. Believe it or not, there's a trigger for a level right there.
Who knows why? Don't skip.
That is something you can't skip.
Oh.
And also, we're just gonna yeet ourselves down here.
What?
I don't know why that didn't work for me.
So this level you're supposed to do a whole thing, but if you can run out at this ledge and get in at just the right time, then you can spawn right at the end of the level.
Yeah, and the trigger that we hit actually skipped like the first half of this level. So we're literally only playing like 20 seconds of the actual level itself.
And that's it.
Yep, that just... we don't actually play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Even the next level that we actually play, the whole level, it still is not how you would normally play it in a playthrough.
Was a servant of evil.
So,
One of a number.
yeah, oh, by the way, this is all events that's happening in the second movie at this point. This, the entire first movie, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey, it's not relevant.
Not to this one, anyway.
No, not to this run. If you did no levels early, it would be relevant. Which we might do at some point.
The disturbance of the tombs of the Nine.
Yeah, these narrations can be skipped. And then we're gonna mount on horses, and we're gonna ride off to the next level. This is kind of just a pretty relaxing point of the run before, well, because it's just a tiny little bit. Before we then get into this level, which is the Necromancer, which we're going to be playing majority of the way that you would think you would play it.
Kind of.
A spell
Kind
of
of.
concealment lies
But
at this
then
place.
we're going to be breaking it
Means
with a
our
pretty
enemy has not
decent
regained
size
his
trick.
full strength.
Wait, Gandalf! What if it's a trap?
It's undoubtedly a trap.
I love that, like, Radagast, like, yells at Gandalf, like, he's so far away, and then Gandalf just, like, walks back. In a very,
Yep.
quiet.
Oh, and also, with these characters, rolling is faster, but some characters...
Ah, come on! I destroy everything besides what I need.
And she's gonna shoot that, and when Dr. Pye jumps back, that will actually overlap the cutscenes of us entering the next room and shooting that at the same time. It's a tiny little optimization, only really saved, I don't even think it even saves a full second.
I literally didn't even know that.
Yep. So this is a trick called birdless or fog skip. So as you can see, there's that fog that's over there that prevents us from getting through the door.
Right up there.
So what's going to happen is I'm going to come up and over here and drop out of bounds. And then I'm going to get myself stuck in this falling animation, drop out, and Dr. Pye is going to pull the camera over to the side for 13 seconds. And that's going to build up, change all of my downward momentum into upwards momentum. And so, when it happens, it's gonna break the tree, it's gonna launch me up in the air, she's gonna pull up to the right, and drop past the barrier, and get her into the next room. Which then gets us into the next room. Now here, she's going to jump, do a drop out, which is going to make the AI jump over there, and skipping how you would actually get onto here. And then while she grabs that, I'm going to do this funky little particle jump here, grab this little crank, and then we're going to go into fighting Azog. So as you can see, this is pretty broken, considering we've skipped, I don't even know how many levels we've skipped at this point, but it's
Probably over,
a lot.
well over half the game.
We've skipped at least 6 levels. So here's Azog. This fight Nothing really too crazy. I'm just gonna run over here and grab an axe while Dr. Pie does this button event, does this quick time event. I only grab the axe because I think it's really funny to see Gandalf holding an axe. In between phases here, we're gonna try and move ourselves into the corner, so that way we can stay close to Alvog, and then there are gonna be some orcs that are gonna show up. I'm going to be killing them just because I need to pay attention, or just get things, annoying things out of the way. Oh, I need to get over the corner again.
Yeah.
I'll just...
I always forget to go over to the corner, so I end up being shot halfway across the room most of the time.
And then I'm just gonna go ahead and do the quick time event here, finish off fighting Alvog.
Whoa, I didn't know I could do that.
You didn't know it was a thing?
No. I mean, we don't really utilize this stuff.
That's fair.
We
don't-
utilize Buddy Up.
So Azog is dead, and now we're going to be going into an auto-scroller. It's going to be a really quick auto-scroller, even faster than the last one, before we go into fighting the Necromancer, which is a really boring fight. But right now, during this time, if there are any donations or anything, go ahead and read, like, I would say you have like a minute.
I always find this auto-scroller funny because Radagast and Gandalf are running past these, like, wolf-type things, and they're running at the same speed as wolves. Like, why? They're wizards. They aren't even using their magic to run faster. They're regular wizards.
Yep. So this is the Necromancer. It's a pretty boring but also very frustrating fight. Because this game's auto-aim systems, like you can see when I'm throwing magic here, I can't target anything. The game is doing all of that targeting on its own. And so we're going to have to do some very specific things in order to win this fight. And we start off by doing a lot of nothing. When the blue thing shows up to attack us, that means that we're actually doing something. We're actually going to be able to advance the fight. And we advance the fight by doing this cool little magic blasty thing, and then we're going to build our little magic blasters. I don't know, magic blasters just sound cool. And then I'm going to attempt, because the game never lets me.
This is what we're talking about. The auto...
Oh, you got it.
The auto game really sucks, so sometimes we're able to get the,
The game is still too loud?
Sometimes we're able to get the magic in the right spot really easy, and other times it takes a long time. Because the auto aim just really isn't working.
Yeah.
And this is one of those levels that I was talking about earlier that we stud drain to save time at the end of the level. And it's really fun because most of the time when we are both stud draining, the orc that comes up to get us will jump off the level with us.
Yeah, and since we can end this level at 0 studs, it saves about 4 seconds. So in some categories, like, it really wouldn't matter to save that 4 seconds, but since on a normal run, this is, again, it's under a half an hour, so 4 seconds can make a pretty big difference.
Uh-oh, I collected studs.
Are you guys able to hear us now? Actually, hold on. Oh no, that's unmuted. Never mind. Okay, I thought I didn't unmute the mic for a second, so I wanted to double check that quick.
La 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 la.
But as you can see, we're not going to be doing much. We only have to do one more phase of fighting the Necromancer.
One more little blue bricky guy. Right now. It was going to me.
That's okay.
It always goes to the one closest to it,
Well, clearly that theory was wrong. Now I just
except for this one time. And sometimes the building sucks too because you build with V, and you also do the shield thing we have been doing with V. So sometimes it registers that you're wanting to do a shield instead of build, and the shields are so slow, so that wasting a lot of things.
I grabbed a few studs, so
You drained them.
yeah, I did drain. Grabbed a few studs, so I did drain them quick. Also, Radagast is really rude. He just leaves Gandalf. Do you have something in the oven? She put something in the oven during a run. I hope she can be quick. Because we have another trick coming up.
It's okay. It was
Okay.
just bacon and I.
Okay.
So it was fine. It's just.
Were you? Oh no, I thought you were wearing scrubs for a second too.
No, I don't have syrup.
Would have been really funny.
It's just a little crispy. But just how we like it anyways.
Yeah, we like it crispier. So the next trick we're going to be doing is a pretty infamous launch.
Well,
It's called Ice Launch.
Smoke. The sun will soon reach midday.
We're trying to get to the mountain to be able to get back into Erebor. Yeah, so
Is this the Overlook?
Ice Launch is.
We have no time
Bleh.
to wait upon the wizard. Come.
when we first started running this game, Ice Launch always went really smoothly. We got it every time. The first time, I don't know what happened. That's how a lot of these jumps have, like, launches have been going recently, is like they suck. And they're not working the way they're supposed to. And also, Ice Launch is always how I know we haven't played for a while. Because instead of pressing B to buddy up here, I will press X and destroy that little
I'm over.
icicle.
That actually was a really good Ice Launch. Wow!
Yeah, so basically we just try to buddy up with something in between us, and it shoots us up in the air. So, and we can get over, there's an invisible wall up here, so I can't like jump up there from where I
company
am.
had
But
arrived at the main
we got
gates
high enough
of the
with
Hun-
the launch that we were able to at least get him over the invisible wall and onto the other side.
Yeah. So this is on the doorstep. This level's really cool, actually. It's really cool to watch. It's terrible to play.
The worst.
Because there's going to be one launch that we're going to be going for called Fast OTD, or Stair Launch is just a lot easier to understand it with. But I'm going to be going for this launch. Dr. Pie is literally not going to move at all because the camera positioning is really, really important here. But for me, I'm going to be positioning Balin and Dwalin into very specific positions. I'm going to put Dwalin here, and then I'm going to take Balin, stick him like right here, and then I don't
Get a low
that was
launch.
a low launch. And that is our curse, is we get low launches like all of the time.
We don't know why. We never understood them. They suck.
Oh!
Oh, you did it! No way! We never get this.
Getting a second try launch.
Never. That was amazing.
What? It, like,
I'm not up there.
that's like a that what?
That was really good.
Yeah, that means our run's still valid.
Totally, actually. Well, except for the pause.
And then we're just gonna skip that little thing there. Normally you would take the the pauses don't mess it up. So we're permanently stop. We just leave like every second.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But we just skipped a little buddy up smash that doesn't matter in this category because we can just jump right around it. If we were, you would probably see it more if we were doing more levels, but we aren't doing that many levels, so
That one, like, that little rock jumping
Let all those who
is
doubted
kind of
us
hard. So normally I'll just
rue this day.
do it if I can. But he doesn't need me, so.
It's true. So we have another type of launch
Which means they're somewhere.
there we're going to be doing called a spin launch. Spin launches are a little bit more inconsistent, but it still requires the buddy up. But this time, where for money hops we needed the buddy on the shoulders, this time we don't want them on the shoulders. And game?
We have to do the side-by-side buddy up for this one to work.
Yep.
So you can have, there's 2 buddy ups. There's the side-by-side and there's on the shoulders. On the shoulders, you have to have for money hops. And you have to have side-by-side for this one.
Yeah, so as you can see, we wedged us into that little space there and then spun, and the game was like, you're not supposed to be doing this, because essentially you would be getting stuck, and so it flies us up into the... It flies us up, shoots us up to get us out, and then we land on that area to skip that whole puzzle that we would be doing.
You can't give up now.
So yeah, Bilbo is the only one trying to still get in. Everybody else is giving up.
They're all quitters.
They quit after 28 minutes. Like, come on.
Boring.
The last line.
Come back! It's the light of the moon, the last moon of autumn.
And Thorin, being the butt that he is, decides to steal all the glory, knock Bilbo over, open the door.
More! He's a little tushy. And he stepped on his friends' heads.
And that is on the doorstep. The second to last level in this run. That's right. There is only one more level left in this run. And that is Inside Information. Inside Information is also the hardest level to execute, in my
The
personal
last
opinion.
light of Durin's day had revealed
Do you disagree? Which level would
No,
you say
that's
is
not
harder?
true. I don't know.
Company
It
passed
like
into the
the
hunt
first
through the
the
secret
first
door.
part of it is like it's kind of precise, but it's fairly easy to do.
May the heart
But it's the last, like the last launch that's the worst
Mm-hmm.
because we can never get it. Some other people get it all the time, very easily. I don't know. We can't, and it just sucks. And you have to like break some certain boxes to get in the right positions. And then if you accidentally are on the right, like on the wrong position, you break a different box, you're screwed. So it's just.
There is only one.
This is the most infuriating
You'll know
one.
it when you see it.
Yeah, especially when we get right to the very last launch of the game. And I'm just gonna call him out right now because I see he's in chat. Jack, it's your fault. The last launch is your fault. Oh look, there's a dragon. You guys remember that there's a dragon, right? You didn't forget about that, did you?
We have lost many of runs, many PBs to the last launch. I think even maybe a world record.
Probably. We've had some really good paced runs in no cutscenes that we have lost to the last launch.
There you are, thief in the shadows.
He came out of the golden sewer.
He comes out, he goes down into the gold just to go right back up. Random thing.
And now to go literally right back down to from where he came from. Which I think is kind of stupid. But
wealthy.
it's just how it is. Hello.
So
You got in my way.
the level, the part that we're in right now is a stealth section. Our movement is just whoa. our movement is restricted here to sneaking or roll. If we, instead of jumping, we roll. So we'll be doing that quite a bit. And there's a lot of like minor optimizations that we can do here. Like I do a really well-timed spin while she's grabbing the, while she's hitting that. So that way the moment that she hits that, I'm spinning and can break the box to grab the chain hook, which then allows us to get here right away. So again, there's a lot of like minor optimizations that happen. That's when you're running a game.
Hey.
Ooh, that was close. I almost just shoved you right off the edge.
You bully.
I'm sorry.
You hadn't done that, I would have gotten through.
But like it's in a run that's as short as this one, all of your optimizations come out to be really small, such as doing something that saves 2 or 3 seconds, or even doing some things that saves like half a second here and there.
Riddle maker.
So normally after he builds that little thing that I fell off of, I will have my chain like swinging, because when my chain is swinging, I can move a lot faster than rolling. So I have my chain swinging, and then when he has it set up, I can go. There's a fun little part right there. I don't know, you probably
No,
didn't
you
check it.
haven't hit it yet.
Yeah, but there's a little bit, like a second where we have control of our characters. Like a half second, where I can pull open my axe and get that ready to break that thing that was in our way.
I'm surprised that worked. That was Chandelier Skip by killing Ballin and then pushing and then moving up into where Ballin was standing. When he respawns, he will be pushed over the chandelier, skipping, having to get a bow, shooting the chandelier, and having this cutscene that would be played. And that's the end of the stealth section. So we have one more cutscene that we're gonna watch before things are gonna get real broken. We're gonna be doing 2 launches to back before we do a puzzle, and then do another launch to end the run.
Spears, my wings are a hurricane.
So it is true. The Black Arrow found its master.
So yes, this is the last level, and again, we talked about it earlier, but when this game was developed, they released Up Through an Unexpected Journey and the Desolation of Smaug. And then they were going to release the Battle of the Five Armies as DLC. But since the movie trilogy did not do very well itself, it ended up that DLC getting canceled. Which was kind of unfortunate, because this game doesn't really feel the most finished when you actually go and do the last level. When you finish this level, it leaves you on this massive cliffhanger, but there's literally nothing you can do about it, because that's it.
You have grown slow and fat.
The movie did not do as well as they were expected to, because of a lot of tourism, I guess I would say is the proper wordage. The same kind of stuff that's going on with the Northern Empire. Alright, so we have a few launches off with corners here. I'm going to come in here, and then
I go into this little hole in between the boxes
And-
jump.
we jump over an invisible wall.
And maybe it will load. Pull up. We died. You didn't go far enough.
Yeah, I don't know where we're at.
What? You're alive? Where am I? What the?
That was a funky camera. Alright, so then we're going to do another launch right here.
So this one, I'm still out of bounds and have to stay out of bounds so that we can get that jump
Oh my
there.
god.
Wow. This one we just recently learned, so
And it
still
just
learning
sends
the
us
placing of it.
flying.
yeah. It's a lot better than our last
Yeah, but since we did that first launch, we had to do a second because we don't actually have the tools with these two characters to actually be able to use switch characters.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
You
I
were not
did.
wizard hack guy. Oh my!
What is going
Goodness.
on? Holy.
The camera is very okay.
Hello?
No, you stay. You stay who you're supposed to be.
I am not Wizard Hat Guy. I'm this guy.
We're just gonna go with that. That was so weird. That has never happened before.
That was bizarre. Okay, normally... I don't know. Recently I've been switching the wrong character, so instead of being Wizard Hat Guy, I am Old Gal. Which kind of throws us off a little bit, but it is what it is, so... I really thought I chose the right person.
And I'm gonna build the code because the code stays the same every single time.
And now we gotta try and get Smile.
Yeah,
with
we're
these
just gonna
flash bombs.
beat him up with a flash flame. Which with some precise timing, we can just pretty much be hitting him constant. Okay.
If we do it well, and if we have our timing right, and if all the throws go as they're supposed to, we can hit him like one after another. But as you can see, that is going very poorly right now. Oh, you didn't wait.
Mine hit.
How? I'm so confused.
That was so weird. That was so weird.
I absolutely love playing this game. It is super fun. I also hate it.
See, Bilbo's normally up there.
What?
That lever that we pulled with the one launch, Bilbo is up there in the cutscene because that's who's supposed to be up there.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Hang 10, baby! Shoutouts to my brother and sister-in-law who live in Hawaii. Well, I said that. I can do it. Rawr. Oh, Bilbo's dead. A bunch of Legos just fell on him. Never mind, he's alive. Haha.
Witless worm!
You witless worm.
Alright, so we're coming up to the end of the run and the last launch. This is called Jack Launch, because it was discovered by a runner named Jack Juggler. And what's going to happen is, oh weird, very much the wrong people right now, is I'm going to hit this thing with Bilbo and push some stuff out of the way, like this little firework thingy-majiggy. And then we're going to run to the side.
Run towards each other.
Yeah. And it's really tight because you can see there's a pretty big barrier. So, oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Do not fall off. Alright, time will be happening here in just a little bit. And time.
Wow, okay,
So,
we
yeah.
never get Jack launch first try. We always get low launch and then do it like we get good ones, like 2 ones that look like they're gonna work and then don't. So that was amazing.
That was really good. A 40-12 is really good for because our world record is 39:06. So that was only a minute and 6 seconds off. And I think like the couple of times I just switched things around, I didn't know we really lost time.
Pauses.
Yeah, but where else?
Well, a couple little things that we just like took a second to explain and hesitated while we were explaining.
Okay, but either way, that's still a really good run for a marathon. I would definitely take that. So yeah, that was Lego the Hobbit, restricted any percent. We run it about once a week-ish. Who knows how much that'll continue. Well, at least until we get world record. We definitely want world record. So, if you want to watch us do runs, follow me on Twitch. She doesn't stream, but she joins me. You can check me out, check us out, doing co-op runs at twitch.tv/Zojalyx. Yeah. I think that's about it. I will be doing a lot of shoutouts and stuff more at the end of the marathon, because I still have another run. But anyways, thank you guys again. It's been an absolute blast to be able to do this run. Yeah, do you have any shoutouts or anything you want to say?
Thanks to you for dragging me into speedrunning.
This was your idea. This run was your idea. You said you wanted to learn a run. This is the one that I picked. So yeah, if you guys are like, huh, this looks like fun, it is, and it's really easy to run.
Super easy.
Your first run, like, she had never even played through the game before. First run, under an hour.
Yeah, not a gamer in the slightest. But.
So, yeah. And with that, we'll go to a quick intermission before we then get set up with our next run of The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Game Boy Advance by Nisiarch. It's going to take a little bit longer to get over there.